Welcome back to my channel, dear friends. Today our story from Brazil. A gang of 34 people broke into the vault of the Central Bank of Brazil and stole $80 million. This operation was considered the largest bank robbery in the history of Brazil. Strangely enough, the bank's vault was equipped with the highest security systems, including surveillance cameras, thermal sensors, and advanced alarm systems. On the morning of Monday, August 8, 2005, Brazil was shaken by shocking news. The Brazilian Federal Police received a report about the robbery of the central bank in Fortaleza. When the Federal Police heard this news, they became confused, as the central bank was considered the most secure bank in the country and was thought impossible to rob. When the police arrived at the bank, they were informed that the theft occurred in the basement, where the money vaults were located. Since the report came on Monday morning, it was clear the robbery occurred over the weekend when bank employees were off duty. Employees discovered the robbery upon their return to work. The thieves had entered the bank carefully and headed directly to the basement, where the money was stored. The police found a narrow hole in the ground leading to a deep underground tunnel. It was initially believed impossible for anyone to enter through this small hole. Bank officials estimated that the stolen amount exceeded 100 million Brazilian reais. After further calculation, the exact amount stolen was found to be 164 million reais, approximately $80 million. This was an enormous amount of money, leaving the police bewildered. While examining the narrow hole, one thin detective bravely suggested entering it to investigate further. Despite warnings about possible hidden bombs or armed thieves at the end of the tunnel, Officer Ennius bravely entered the tunnel. Crawling through the dark tunnel, Ennius discovered it was reinforced with wooden panels, ventilation pipes, fans, and lights. After crawling for about 70 meters, he found a ladder leading upwards. Upon climbing the ladder cautiously with his weapon drawn, he emerged into an empty, disordered space covered with a white powder used to conceal fingerprints. The room was chaotic, filled with trash, clothing, and scattered tools, and all windows were boarded up. Further investigation revealed rooms filled with sandbags, the extracted soil from the tunnel. Ennius followed the tunnel's path to a nearby building, only 70 meters away from the bank, painted green and disguised as an artificial grass company, a clever cover-up. News of the robbery quickly spread, attracting extensive media coverage, including foreign press. Investigators thoroughly examined every crime site detail, linking this robbery to similar previous crimes in São Paulo. The thieves rented a nearby house, registered it officially as an artificial grass company, and skillfully hid the excavation by covering the floor hole to look like carpet. The tunnel, approximately 73 meters long, was excavated manually to minimize noise, using shovels and pickaxes. They placed the extracted soil in bags initially transported by truck, arousing suspicion among neighbors. To avoid attention, they stored the soil inside the house, eventually dumping it discreetly into the backyard. The meticulously built tunnel featured wooden and steel supports, ventilation pipes, fully functional fans, continuously lit lights, a water pipeline, and a telephone line for communication. The gang operated in shifts, with 7 members working continuously day and night. Police investigation found evidence that the thieves were highly knowledgeable about the bank's security systems, indicating inside complicity. Suspicion grew when it was discovered that a crane in the vault was deliberately positioned to obstruct surveillance cameras. A small hidden passage between the wall and money boxes allowed slim thieves easy access, avoiding detection. Cameras had blind spots, which thieves exploited strategically. Thermal sensors on the high ceiling failed to detect movement due to their improper placement. Police hypothesized the thieves entered just before the security system activated, between 6 and 7 p.m. on Friday evening. Further investigation revealed that trucks purchased for cash by José Charles were involved in transporting stolen money. Charles and his driver were apprehended in Belo Horizonte transporting money hidden inside vehicles. The arrest uncovered more accomplices and links to prior crimes. Over months of investigation, several gang members were arrested, revealing internal betrayals and kidnappings for ransom among thieves. Key figures included Jose Charles, his brother Marco Ruggiero, Pablo, alias, and Moises, an infamous expert in tunneling and a mastermind behind several heists. Moises was eventually captured 4 years after the robbery through a cunning police trap. Another criminal leader, Fernandinho, who financed the operation, was kidnapped and killed by corrupt police officers seeking ransom. The robbery triggered widespread criminal activities, including further bank heists via tunnels, kidnappings, and extortion. The Brazilian Federal Police recovered only about 34 million reais of the stolen amount, with much money laundered into properties and assets. Ultimately, most gang members were captured, faced serious charges, and received heavy sentences, including life imprisonment. Yet one gang member, Jovan Hall, remained at large, evading capture to this day, leaving his name etched in police memory. The central bank robbery in Fortaleza remains one of Brazil's most audacious and complex criminal cases, marked by intrigue, betrayal, and lingering unanswered questions. Thank you for watching. For more wonderful stories, please subscribe, like and share. Have a nice time and goodbye.